Hey, you were supposed to finish this one yesterday. The following sample data was collected from a statistics class to see how many cars were registered in each household. So for number of cars, 0 to 10, there were 10. The midpoint is halfway between 0 and 1. So that's 0.5. Then you need to multiply 0.5 times 10, getting 5. That just moves your decimal over. Okay, and then 2.3, or 2 to 3, sorry. So the midpoint would be 2.5. Multiply 2.5 times 12 to get 30. 4 to 5 cars, the midpoint is 4.5. Multiply to get 13.5. 6 to 7. 6 to 7 cars in one household, that's a lot. So there's only one person. The midpoint is 6.5. We multiply to get that. Okay, the sum of the frequencies would be adding the frequencies up. The sum of f times x, we would be adding this column up. So whenever you do, you get 26 for number of frequency, and then f times x is 55. Then we plug it into the formula. So that'd be 55 over 26, and that's 2.12. So the sample mean is 2.12.
What decimal place do you round to?
Say that again?
What decimal place do you round to?
It said round to one more than the information that was given to you. So we were given, well, see how we have these halves? So that's why I went to 2 places. And probably on your assignment, I'm not 100% on that, but on your assignment, it'll tell you what to round to. If not, just do one more than the data that was given. Okay, the next thing we are going to learn about is weighted mean. Okay, so just weighted means are used in finding out your average in a class. Did y'all know that? Because we aren't just doing all of your grades counting the same. You have quizzes, you have daily, you have tests, you have a final exam. So every assignment has its own weight. So in this case, it's a final grade is weighted 30% test, 30% quiz, 40% final exam. So 40% is our final exam. It weighs the most, which is usually the case in classes, in college classes especially. So we need to find the student's average, weighted mean. I shouldn't say the word average. I need to say mean. So let's look at what we have on test. So the test counts for 30%. So that is our weight. So I'm going to make some rows and columns here. So our weight for test is 0.3. Our weight for quizzes is 0.3. And our final exam is 0.4. Okay, and X is going to be what we received as an average for that particular category. So for test, it would be 86, but we were talking about percent, right? So it'd be 0.86. For quiz would be 0.92. And for final, 0.85. So to find your weighted average, it says we need to do the summation of the weight times the score. So we need to go ahead and multiply these. Weight times the score. So let's go ahead and multiply those. So when we multiply 0.3 times 0.86, we're going one more decimal than they gave us. So what was that? Yeah, 0.258. Okay. And then 0.3 times 0.92. And then this one. Okay. And then we want to find the sum of that. So we are going to add these. So find the sum of x, find, I should have said w times x, but either way, still means the same thing. So we add those up. .874. And then that's going to be divided by the sum of the weights. So we add these up to find the sum of the weights. What is the sum of the weights? 0.3, 0.3, and 0.4. Yeah, it equals 1. So the weighted mean is 0.874 over 1, or if we want to write it as a percent, the 87.4%. So the grade book actually calculates it this way. Blackboard's not automatically set up like this, so I have to go in and set it up with these weights and have it calculate the mean from that. Okay, let's move on to the back side, or the last page. A particular college grading policy assigns quality points to letter grades as follows. In a student's first semester at college, he took 5 courses. His final grades were A, B, C, D, and then we have the different credits. Compute his grade point average by finding the weighted mean. Okay, so we know how much each is worth, right? A, B, C, D. He didn't have any F's, so we don't even need to put that on there. So A, the weight of A, so I'm going to put weight right here, is 4. For B is 3. For C is 2. For D is 1 as our weight. And then we need to know, what about the credits? How many credits did they take? That's how many. That's your X value. Okay, so credits for A, how many credits did they have? 6. B, 4. C, 1. And D, 3. That D is going to bring down their GPA. So then to find our weighted mean, we need to multiply the weight times how many credits. So weight times credits. So it'd be 24, 12, 2, and 3. Okay, so remember with our weighted mean, it's going to be the sum of the weight times X divided by the sum of, I think it's weights, right? Yeah, weights. So add these together. Weight times credits. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 41. So X bar is 41 over all the weights. There was a 0 down here. Remember that F, but we didn't have anything there. If we had something there, we would still have to add that in. So I should have put that in there from the beginning. So what's the sum of the weights? Okay, so not 100% on that.
Yeah.
I think it should be divided by how many credits to get, because that wouldn't come out. That's dividing by 10, and that would give them a 4.0. That doesn't make sense. We need to divide by the number of credits. Or frequency. So that would be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So 41 divided by 14. And then rounding would be, we want to do one more than what we're given. So what would that give us? Yeah, 2.9 GPA. Okay, and then the last thing on here is talking about your mean, median, and mode. And talking about whenever your distribution of data is symmetric. Whenever it's symmetric, your mean, median, and mode are in the actual center, okay? If your data is skewed, this is what it'll look like. Your mean will be closest to the tail. So see how this is a tail? It's left skewed. Y'all remember that picture of the toes?
Mm-hmm.
Left foot, the pinky's on the left skewed. Your mean is on the left, your mode is up top, and your median. The longer left tail, the mean and median are to the left of the mode. Mean is usually, so make sure you pay attention to that. Usually, it doesn't always happen, but it's usually to the left of the median. And then if we're skewed right, if the data is skewed right, longer right tail, the mean and median are to the right of the mode. Mean is usually to the right of the median. So usually again. Okay, so you will work on 3.1 assignment today.